If you have any... Our time to stop Chthon is running short. At this point, I'm willing to try just about anything. So, if you have any bright ideas...
We should not be sitting here waiting for Chthon to return to our world. We should take the fight to Chthon.
Everything we do here is to prevent Chthon from returning to our plane of existence. We don't go to him. That would be suicide.
I will fight him wherever I see him, no matter what those books tell you.
These books tell me Chthon has been a threat before civilization began, when all that walked the earth were the Elder Gods.
But what else? Surely there is some bit of knowledge we can use. What other things did you learn?
I could keep you up all night blathering on about this, so tell me specifically what you are curious about.
Who were these Elder Gods? Tell me about them.
Siblings brought into existence on this planet by the Demiurge, the source of all life. These beings were named Set, Gaia, Ashtur, and Chthon. They ruled the planet for many millennia, each of them pursuing their own interests, increasingly battling each other for supremacy until finally it became too much. New gods emerged to topple the old gods and remove their influence from our world.
Nothing lasts forever, even for gods. Was Chthon always this monstrous evil from the very beginning?
There was always something wrong with him, but his insatiable pursuit of chaos magic eventually corrupted him in ways he could never reverse. While Chthon's sibling Gaia sought to nurture life on his planet, Chthon sought to absorb it into himself, to remake all life in his own twisted image. It was because of that evil drive that Chthon was banished to another realm.
And there he waits, ready to return when the opportunity presents itself?
Like now.
If Chthon returns, what exactly will happen to this world?
The world and all life as you know it will cease to exist, but it will not vanish. It will be recast in Chthon's image. We will exist only as extensions of Chthon, and the world will only serve to keep him alive.
What a hellish existence. What about the Darkhold? Could it not provide us with secrets of Chthon?
The Darkhold is dangerous in its own way. With Chthon locked away in another dimension, this is how he has sought to influence events in our world. It is Chthon's own words laid down in print. We cannot trust it as a reliable aid in our battle. It would be like trying to defeat Ultron using his own memoir. Nothing good will come of it.
And the writing is probably awful anyway. The prophecy mentions the sleeping giant awakening. If that is Hulk, how important is he to Chthon's goals?
I'm not sure, other than his presence complicates our ability to stop Hydra and Lilith's efforts.
Something will have to be done about him, or Stark may lose his mind. I do not want to hinder you anymore. Keep reading. Surely there is something we can use.
I hope you're right. And I'll keep digging. One more book. Maybe that will have the answer.
You are an incredible teacher, Storm.
What brought this on?
A Scarlet Witch is not long welcome in these halls.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Thanks, Hunter.
Do you think what Peter said is true? That Agatha forgives me for what I did?
I know she forgives you.
Yeah, right. You can't know that.
Well, I do.
No, you don't. No one does. She's dead, and it's all my fault. It's always my fault. If I had learned to control my powers better, she would be here today.
Maybe there is a lesson in all this tragedy.
Yeah? And what's that?
You learned what happens when you let yourself get out of hand. The best way to honor Agatha's memory is to learn from those mistakes in order to ensure it will never happen again.
See, you say it's not my fault, but that's not really what you think. You think I'm as dangerous as Caretaker does. I still haven't been able to look her in the eye since I've been back. She hates me.
Can you blame her? Agatha was all Caretaker had, her life partner. She sees you taking that all from her.
No, I can't blame her any more than I can't stop blaming myself. Maybe I should just ask for her forgiveness for destroying her life. Maybe it would make things better?
Agatha would want the two of you to be reconciled.
I know. I just don't know if I can make that happen.
Try. For Agatha.
Yeah, for Agatha. I, kinda need a few more minutes alone with her. Go on without me.
I will take my leave then.
Thanks, Hunter.
Another day closer to the fulfillment of the prophecy.
We've located a Hydra agent with an unusually high gamma signature, probably from working in close proximity to their recent experiments.
Why are they all still looking at me?
If we can capture that agent, we might gain some insight into Hydra's plans.
As they say, no problem.
Now's your chance. Take them into custody before they can regain their bearings.
I feel more like myself every day.
Excellent work. But I doubt Hydra will let you walk off with their agents so easily. Stay alert. We need to take care of the rest of these thugs. Don't hold back.
Here we go. Hope Hydra has good insurance. Let's do it. I heard Lilith is kind of hot. Any of you dorks make a move yet?
Hell with it.
Getting it done any way we know how. This should help a little.
Their time is short.
Now there's the hunter I've been hearing about. That'll work. Ought to improve the odds.
Be broken.
Hydra's in control of the situation.
Got through the armor somehow.
They weren't ready for us. That much is clear.
No mercy for the servants of Lilith.
This should be good. Don't mind if I do.
Your fate is sealed.
I saw a unit on the move.
You had your chance to escape.
Sure, why not? How much is Lilith paying you guys anyway? It can't be enough. I'm saving my energy. They won't know what hit them.
I've survived worse.
Everything according to plan. The light will carry you onward.
Oh, invigorating. Shouldn't have pissed me off.
The wonders of modern technology.
This shouldn't take long. Does Hydra even pay you enough to cover your medical bills?
Following enemy movement.
Weak, even for Hydra. They will know our power.
Maybe we overdid it.
The enemy has the upper hand. I've been waiting. Let's see how tough you are.
The more the merrier. You have earned this.
I know that wasn't your signature move.
You've been practicing, haven't you?
You are too weak for this fight.
Looks like you've got the agent in custody. Better clear out before Hydra sends a search party.
Hey Hunter, I'm gonna be saying some words about Blaze for the team. We're gathering in the cave right now. Come join us.
What you doing, Charlie?
Hey, thanks for coming, everybody. I know we're all stretched thin at the moment.
We're all here for you, Robbie. We know this is important to you.
But we should move things along. I know what you're all thinking. You thought Blaze was a major league asshole.
Whoa, I thought Professor Xavier was the mind reader, Logan.
Quiet, you. Anyway, Blaze. Yeah, he wasn't nice. But it's not a nice world. And sometimes you gotta be that way to get things done. And he really got a lot of things done. So, you kids remember that. You won't always be so fresh-faced and innocent.
Thanks, Logan. You said it better than I ever could. To be honest, I really struggled with what I was gonna say. Because I used to worship the flaming ground Blaze rode on. And then I met him. And safe to say, I didn't worship him so much anymore. Fairly certain I hated him. Right until he went and sacrificed his life to save mine. Johnny might not have been perfect, but at the end of the day, he was one of us. And I'm glad to have known him. To Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny Blaze.
Johnny
Johnny
Blaze. Is that it? Can we go now?
Hey, look who's awake.
You've been incredibly patient with me, Hunter. I think it's time for me to tell you the truth.
It sounds very ominous when you put it that way.
As we've discussed before, I'm not used to opening up. But it's important that you know how I work. My emotions influence the weather, If I'm angry enough, I can cause the air around me to turn into gusts of wind. If I'm sad, the clouds will fill with water and cause rain. Do you notice a pattern?
You have only mentioned negative feelings influencing negative weather patterns.
So, you see my dilemma.
Is it only bad emotions?
Not usually. But since those are what I feel most deeply, it tends to be.
Wow. That is intense. How do you deal with it?
Practice.
That does not sound like a way to live.
It is if it keeps my loved ones and my team safe. I need to exercise precise control over my emotions, or else I risk their lives.
I am sorry.
Don't pity me, Hunter. I may not be as old as you, but I've learned to manage. Isn't that all we can do?
When you say it like that, it makes it sound like you are putting up with it.
We all are, don't you think? None of us asked for our powers. What we do with them, and how we react to their quirks is up to us.
It is hard to argue with that.
I made a pretty convincing case, I know.
Thank you for sharing this with me. I know it was difficult for you.
You deserve to know. Now I just need a lesson in letting go.
Letting go of your need for control?
Easier said than done, right? Control has always been a constant for me. I can control my feelings if I pause and take a breath. I can control how my team perceives me. I can control the weather. The weather does not control me. Any advice?
There is no rush. Just take your journey day by day.
What if I'm impatient?
Then I will be here to remind you that it is not a race.
Well said. Let's see if I can produce some of that kindness for myself. It isn't every day that I'm vulnerable. I appreciate your willingness to stick by me.
We are a team. Of course I am going to be here.
Never change, Hunter.
Pull up a stool, Hunter. Never too early to get caffeinated. Stark convinced me to put a shot of his new Stark Drive energy drink in my coffee.
Stark Drive?
Sure, it tastes like sweaty gym sock dipped in coffee, but at least it wakes you up. And if we're headed to Transia, I'm gonna need it. This thing could last 24 hours or 24 days. Hard to tell.
This group does not waste time. We will strike at Hydra and Transia quickly, and we will win.
Now there's a real rah-rah spirit I can get behind. I've got no time for long stays overseas. I don't like to pack a toothbrush, and my transient is pretty terrible.
It makes sense that Lilith would go there. Back to the homeland, that is. Back to the source of her powers.
She's gonna be in for a real nasty shock if she's looking for home. It's not like the old days with the Knights of Wundagore riding around the place. Red Skull and Hydra did a pretty good job of screwing Transia up in every way possible.
The people of Transia are good at heart. There's natural beauty there. We can still save the country from the destruction brought upon it.
We go smash Hydra, and while we're there, we'll plant some trees? Sounds like a plan.
It looks like the others are gathering now in the war room.
Yep, I'll head that way myself. Just need a few more sips of sweaty gym sock. I gotta talk to Stark about getting some new flavors. Sounds reckless. I'm in.
Focus, Robbie. Focus.
Oh, you are gonna love this. Ooh, new coil. Let's get to work. This is some of my best work.
Come back tomorrow, Hunter. I can feel the mystical energy growing. Good day, Hunter.
Danger Room, eat your heart out.
Relaxing.
Time to take it to the next level. We've got plenty of tricks for old dogs. No excuses here. See you around.
Is there anything you can tell us about Transia that might give us an edge?
Transia is a country in trauma. Their borders could easily destabilize at any moment. The people there, they have seen so much war, trauma.
Hello, Hunter.
Is there something I can help you with? You are looking at me funny.
Was I? Huh. You read me so well. I was just thinking about how much you remind me of Lilith when she was young.
You have never really spoken of her before.
I guess I don't like to dredge up old memories, especially the painful ones.
What was my mother like when she was younger?
Better than me, that was for sure. She was the brave one, kind and courageous. Everyone loved her. Me most of all. So you can imagine how hard it was for me when she sold her soul.
I am so sorry you went through that. Losing a sister could not have been easy.
It wasn't. But I imagine it must be harder for you. I lost a sister, but you lost your mother.
I was just a baby when it happened.
Still, I know it affects you. She had everything going for her. Everything. Beauty, brains, talent, compassion. She could have done anything, and she just threw it all away for power. What a waste. We should have been a family.
I suppose we have each other.
Yes. Yes, we do. And for now, that is enough.
So, I read in your war journals, issue 47 to be specific, that you've been to Transia.
Is that a question?
More like a prompt. You know, to see if the journals were true, or if there was something you left out intentionally.
Ah, for intel.
Yes, definitely for intel. If so, war journal number 47 is my favorite. So when you were surrounded by Hydra troops in that Transian cemetery, did all that stuff really happen?
We will not fail.
Show them what happens when you mess with the Midnight Suns.
Roger that. At least monsters are wild and unpredictable. These Rent-A-Mercs have no gumption.
I've been waiting.
We will not fall that easily.
I'll make quick work.
That was something.
It is too late for you.
How invigorating.
Not a problem.
Now that was something.
Our enemy draws near.
You had your chance to escape. You were too weak for this fight.
It's about time.
They cannot possibly match your strength. No mercy for the servants of Lilith. Your mother abandons you. Let us see if they have an answer for this.
We fear death.
So that's how that works.
The advantage is mine.
They're still not ready to give up? not gonna be enough.
You have earned this. Feel my call. Once again, Lilith's servants fall.
Here we go.
The light is on our side.
That should help.
It's only temporary.
So be it!
There is no escape.
We all must live up to our legends, right, Hunter?
Hopefully they learned their lesson, but we all know that's wishful thinking.
Looking forward to...
We aimed high and we hit our marks. Can I help you?
So,
It's hard fighting the urge to say something corny.
Can you believe no one wanted to play strip poker with me?
Welcome, Hunter.
Time for book club. You coming?
Meet you there.
After you.
My plan backfired. Thought choosing a weird book would drive people away.
Why would you do that?
More punch for the rest of us.
Why have I not heard of Crash Morgan? I know it's an older book, but this is exactly the kind of story I like.
Is that your way of getting my attention? I thought Logan might bail. But I told him we bring more snacks this time. I have him figured out. Let's get this started.
I am ready.
All right, Logan, I need to know. Why did you choose this book?
I'll tell you, just not yet. I want to hear what you thought of this book.
It was written in the 1940s, so I expected some repugnant attitudes and phrases. But it surprised me. The writing was simple, yet the story was deeper than it had any right to be.
What was your favorite part?
It's in the chapter where Crash and the princess escape the Zorgots. The next morning, they see the sun rise and Mars rising beside it. When the princess asks what the future holds and Crash just stares at Mars as it eclipses the sun, it gave me chills.
Is it just me, or do the stellar bodies represent their time together?
Absolutely. The time they have together is fleeting. I think this is where Crash first realizes there's no future for the two of them. Anyway, I think the moment gets lost when the Zorgots deploy their Null Stalkers.
I don't get why the robot dog didn't warn them. I thought it could talk.
Not until number 19, the minefields of the reticulates. It's a whole thing.
Got it. So, what's the idea with Crash's promise?
What about it?
When Crash apprehends Glaxogorp, they have a tense conversation in the back of the flypod. Crash says there's a way the Zorgots can leave the moon with everything they want, but the princess must take the throne. Then Crash vows that no queen of royal blood shall ever rule Deimos. Glaxogorp agrees, but why? Crash breaks the vow in the next chapter.
That makes no sense. Why say Queen of Royal Blood?
You're right. I can't believe I missed that. And how does that tie into the Hydro gunfight at the top of the space scraper?
Really? You don't see it?
I do.
They're shapeshifters.
Who?
Crash and Glaxogorp.
No.
Yep.
But then, when do they...
The Hydro gunfight. Crash gets hit in the helmet and goes down. And what happens whenever Crash is unconscious?
The helmet changes color. Turns bronze like the suit.
Right. Then Glaxogorp pulls up on the rocket sled and takes Crash and the princess into custody. That's when they make the switch. Crash and Glaxogorp change form, but where do they stash the princess?
It is obvious. They put her in Crash's suit.
Exactly. Crash won't need it to survive because they're within the bubble city. So we get to the Deimos Council meeting. The princess refuses the throne and declares her love for Crash, who is the princess in Crash's suit. When they embrace, the false princess deactivates the Magna Manacles binding Crash. But Crash nabs the Star Scepter from the fake princess, activates the suit's Zoom vest, and smashes through the Monoculus.
So, if that's the actual princess, she escapes. But who is the false princess?
That's a shape-shifted Glaxogorp. Without the Star Scepter, Deimos can't crown their queen.
Right. She never wanted it, and the Zorgots definitely don't want it. Glaxogorp, posing as the princess, can steer Deimos away from war.
And when the fake Glaxogorp vows the Star Scepter shall be restored to the princess, that's actually Crash.
So Crash made 2 vows and broke neither of them. The cliffhanger with Glaxogorp chasing Crash's ship is actually Crash returning to the princess so they can escape Deimos.
You got it. They reveal the switcheroo at the beginning of number 6, Attack of the Intergalactic Space Weasels.
Clever. I like it more now. And that's where we'll call it for tonight.
So, Logan, why did you pick this book?
Because it's fun.
No other reason?
Every book doesn't need to be a teachable moment.
Fair enough.
I almost wish this book was a comic instead. I would have liked to see the Monoculus.
My book was the best of them.
You have only been to 2 meetings.
Yeah, but you know I'm right.
You did not mention a book for next time.
Yeah, with everything going on, I'm gonna put book club on a hiatus until things are less apocalyptic.
I enjoyed some of it, despite the drawbacks.
Oh, like what?
My leisure activities rarely have such inactivity.
I'm right there with you. I almost pitched this as a workout for the body and the mind. Get in some cardio, maybe a bit of strength training, and talk about the books while we exercised. I was going to call it the Bookathlon Club.
Huh.
Right. After I slept on it, I had the same reaction to my own idea.
Maybe next time.
Actually, I need to thank you for sticking around since the beginning. For all your help with Carol.
Of course.
I don't get close to many people. I never get into relationships. That's not a rule I ever break. But I did with Carol. Beyond all the reasons, I find her amazing. Do you know why?
You are into her because she can kick your ass.
That's exactly it.
Really? I was joking.
I'm not. Vampires fight dirty. They'll kill whoever you love just because they can. If they really want you to suffer, they'll turn your true love into one of them. That's why dating me is a death sentence, and I refuse to put that weight on anyone. But can you imagine some pissant vampire trying to chow down on Captain Marvel? First, his fangs would snap off on contact with her skin. Then she'd just chuck it into space. No hiding from the sun out there. There's no way they can ever touch her. But it's not just that.
It is you. She is safe from you.
Yeah. I never break my rule because I know deep down there's a chance I could lose control. But with Carol, hell, she could hold me over her head till I was myself again. Wouldn't even break a sweat.
Completely unrelated, I want to watch Captain Marvel bench press Blade.
I would not.
You are no fun.
And you already knew that. Well, I'm glad you joined me for all of this. Maybe next time the world is ending, I'll start a sparring club.
A sparring club? Is that just training with a fancy name?
You saw right through me. On your way out?
I am taking off.
Righteous.
Nice, Hunter! You never lost your nerve.
Sup, Ancient One?
It's hard fighting the urge to say something corny yet uplifting before battle.
What drove you to study medicine, Doctor?
I know what it's like to feel suffocated by a disease. I wanted to help others avoid my fate.
I admire your compassion.
To be fair, it wasn't entirely selfless. I needed to learn biology to cure myself.
I believe you are a good man.
Thank you for saying so. But I was not always the man you know.
I do not need to know your past self to know your current worth.
That is a wonderful sentiment. Please pass that along to Blade. I think he missed the memo. How did you get your hands on this? This place is bigger than I realized. Seems like you can't get enough of me. I must be fun.
Hey, Hunter. I need a little help puppy housebreaking help.
Hey, Hunter. Okay, what's Hydra up to now? This intel is hot, Hunter. These are the current priorities.
You're the boss.
Stay out of trouble.
Hey, can I ask a favor? Erethole! I mean... Thanks, Hunter. I've always been fond of this color. It reminds me of the psychic flares that often coincide with interdimensional travel.